Good evening, viewers. This is Media Track, the news, media and analysis program that looks at the main events of the past week. And I'm Devika Siquera, and with me is my colleague
Ashley do Rosario.
Okay, we are on episode 45, and to begin with, Ashley, we'll just take a brief look at the headlines in different papers. In the Goan, where you work, your headline was, "In Corona Times, Government Revives Marina Project." In the Herald, we have two headlines, sort of matching headlines. COVID-19 spreads in South Goa. And then there was another story which talked of COVID patients' bodies cremated at Ponda after Bogda residents oppose. And in Navin Times, we have the headline about the COVID square in Zuarinagar, which is a slum area. And in the Times of India, you have the big story that's playing out between India and China at the Galwan border, at the Galwan Pass. And it talks about US saying that it moved troops from Europe to counter China threat to India. Now, that's, of course, a big story, and it will go on playing out, and it's like an international thing that's playing. So what exactly is happening right now, Ashley? The government of India has warned China of consequences, and you have the US sort of being obviously on the side of India after the whole COVID thing started with China.
Basically, China is posturing.
Yeah.
Okay, they are at a vantage point.
Yeah.
They have claimed Indian territory already.
Yeah.
And they are posturing, so they will try to milk the situation for sure. India, apparently through diplomatic channels, is trying to settle the matter from the diplomatic angle rather than a military angle. But doesn't seem like India is preparing a military build-up in that area as of today.
Yeah. So, the government of India has been talking of China amassing a huge contingent of troops and armaments along the LAC. And I was looking at the BBC News last night, that is on Thursday night, and they had these images which are extremely, disturbing, at least to India, to us in India, where they have shown in the satellite, images of the past month, where that whole valley was totally bare, and now huge
build up from the Chinese side.
Yeah, they've built bunkers. They've built. So apparently, there's this interest in the road that will go through to all the way to Pakistan.
Pakistan,
I think. Yes. So, in a strongly worded statement, External Affairs Ministry spokesman said the conduct of the Chinese forces is in complete disregard of all mutually agreed norms. Now, this thing comes, of course, at the time of the pandemic, when India too is having massive problems, and it was again on Thursday that Delhi overtook Mumbai as the capital with the highest cases. As the metro with the highest cases. I think they've touched 90,000. 90,000, right?
No, 70,000.
70,000. Yeah, that's right. Mumbai was at 69,000 yesterday, and then there was another report which talked of now that Europe, the numbers have come down to some extent. The figures are going up in Asia, and that's proving to be a huge challenge.
Asia is the big challenge, actually, although it originated in Asia, for that matter. It originated in China.
That's true.
But Europe has kind of got grip of the situation. Like, for example, Italy, which was ravaged so much, the numbers have come down to 180. in the whole of Italy. So they've got a grip of the situation. They took the pandemic seriously at the start.
Yeah.
They did face huge problem at the beginning, where the number of deaths were skyrocketing both in Italy as well as in Spain. But they have managed to overcome it.
But then there was another report I saw about, in the UK where people have hit the beaches in huge numbers, and that is causing a worry of a kind of ricochet of the virus. The same that is happening in the US, where numbers are going up again. And they don't seem to be getting out of that spiral. But what I found quite disturbing, Ashley, is this report in the Herald. I think it was in your paper also, about COVID patients' bodies not being allowed to be cremated by the local people or being buried. And and then you had 4 people from the government. Obviously they work in the government, so they have no sort of escape from that. They have to handle these bodies. And
Devika, the problem is basically the lack of scientific knowledge of what the problem is. If you remember, when the government first started a COVID care center in Shiroda, people opposed it.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, then we had in Sada, people opposed it. I mean, people are going to oppose it, but then the government can't bend on that. As far as cremating the body is concerned, there are protocols in place, and they have to do it as per the protocol, because there is still lot of ambiguity of what really is the scientific yes and scientific no of coronavirus. Even the doctors are not sure of what it is and what it is not. So in that kind of a situation, there's bound to be this kind of opposition from the locals. Many villages, as you know, have also blocked their borders to people coming from outside.
That is the case, you see. So now we are at 1,000. Obviously, by today we will have crossed 1,000 cases. And I think the government hasn't quite got a handle on the situation. If you ask me, I think the first mistake was made by the doctor at Vasco. He's not even a doctor. He's a practitioner of Ayurveda, and he was called a fraud and whatever. A quack. And he, rather than ask that patient of his to go directly to the government hospital, he started treating him on some Ayurvedic medicines, and so, that is where the virus started to spread from. And that became the biggest containment
That was
zone,
the biggest transmission locale in Mangor Hill. But this is something that is going to happen more and more if the authorities don't clamp down. As I said, with the monsoon coming in, you're going to have a lot of other infections, and these private practitioners, if they do not exercise caution with their patients, you're going to create a number of hotspots across the state, as it is. Now with the Mangor episode, we have at least 8 worrisome locales, particularly in Salsette. Like for example, Kurtorin. You already have 31 cases in Kurtorin as of yesterday. Lotoli and Raya, you have another 13 or 14 cases there. So when you have these kind of cases in these areas, transmission is bound to happen if you're not cautious. If the government does not clamp down, if the government does not clamp down and put people to make sure that these people are self-isolated in their houses, or the contacts are traced and tested. If these steps are not taken, then you're going to have Mangor Hills all over Goa.
Yes, and apart from that, now you have the case of Baba Ramdev coming in with what he claims to be a COVID cure.
Coronil, he calls it.
And then you had the minister, Ayush Minister, Shripad Naik. He was on national television and he was asked several times, was he given permission? Can he make such a claim that it is 100% cured? And Shripad said, you know, we are investigating, we are looking into it, etc., etc. And of course, he's been trolled immensely on. You have a report here which says that he's been trolled on social media for his very lax, because you know this is not a joke.
Yeah, it's a like, criminal act actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is a criminal act.
They've gone ahead and announced this without
but there's
proper
trials. More news that has come out from about Baba Ramdev's whole episode.
Yeah.
Apparently, they did a very limited clinical trial at NIMS Jaipur.
Yeah.
Where the state government was not informed. The procedures are that you apply for a clinical trial with the state government.
Yeah.
And then the state government makes sure all the norms are followed and reports to National Council for Medical Research. Now, NIMS did do a limited clinical trial with this coronil, but they did it only on asymptomatic patients.
Yeah, and only some small
number.
Some 200
in addition, when they were being treated, when these asymptomatic positive COVID cases were being treated, and during the treatment, if any of them had fever or more severe symptoms of COVID, they were given allopathic drugs. They didn't, I mean, the doctors treating them did not take the risk of letting them, deteriorate and were administered. So this whole clinical trial is very dubious.
I was watching one debate on television, and one of the doctors there said that, a lot of these people who were asymptomatic would have recovered on their own.
Anyway.
Whether you gave them this coronil or not. So they've not taken even that factor into account. But to move away from Baba Ramdev, and what is the story about which was in the headlines in the Go, and it talked about government reviving a marina project?
Devika, this is a project that has been on the back burner, front burner for a long time. This is at Naushi, Kakra, Naushi, the northern bank of Zuari. These are fishing villages, basically. Like Devika, you live in Donapal. At the foothill, this is very close. At the foothill of Donapal, you have a fishing village, right? Marivel. Then little further, you have Odshell. Then you have Kakra, then you have Naushi. And then you have Siridao, and then you come to the other side of Kortali. So basically this is a belt which is inhabited by these tribal fishing communities, and they've been there for generations. So basically these guys have just picked out this very virgin bank of the Zuari, and they want to set up a marina apparently.
But my impression was that was quite a rocky area.
No, it's beachy. This area is beachy. The one that is rocky is towards Donapal. Little further towards Siridao, Bambolim Siridao is Naushi, and then you have Kakra. But these have beaches. They have small beaches there, and these guys want to take over that whole place. So as you know, once the investment is that much in the regions of 100 crores and 150 crores in any project, then they are required to do this public hearing,
So there is a public hearing that is going to happen?
There was supposed to be a public hearing in November. But because of the protests, the Savan government intervened and cancelled that. They just put off that public hearing, which was fixed for the 2nd of November. And now they're going to have it in July.
So it is a private party that is setting up the project of the marina,
it's a Mumbai-based company that is doing it.
But during this coronavirus, during the pandemic, we have this huge sort of political upheaval going on in Goa. It has to do with the BJP trying to split their former ally, that is the Goa Forward Party. And that story has become quite interesting, with claims and counterclaims going on all sides. So I think actually it started with the Supreme Court sending a notice to the Goa Speaker Rajesh Patnekar, telling him that he should. They just sent a notice for a response, obviously from him,
from the speaker.
Yeah, from the speaker, for why the petition has not been taken up. The petition was filed by the Congress party against the 10 MLAs who crossed over. And so that has triggered some kind of panic among the people who are on Sawant's now within the BJP, and quite a few of them have become ministers. In the
all 10 have become ministers. In fact.
All 10 have become ministers?
No.
There are a few who are not.
Yeah, there are 3 or 4 who have been given chairmanships.
Right. Yeah. So this has triggered that panic, and to make from what I can read of the situation, there are two, they're trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak. One is to distract you from how badly the government is doing in handling the coronavirus pandemic, and the other is to also bolster their numbers in case these people are told that they have to stay out of the assembly, they cannot vote, etc. In case it comes to that.
Devika, our experience whenever such upheavals happen is that you are never too sure of what is happening until it happens.
Yeah.
There are multiple stories doing the rounds about this recent flutter that has happened in the political setup. Obviously, the trigger is the Supreme Court case.
Yes.
There is no doubt about that. Whenever there is something like this, that fear factor among the people involved, among the MLAs involved, it builds up.
Yeah.
What if we are disqualified? What if we are disqualified? So they try to preempt what can happen after that. So basically, if these 10 guys are disqualified, it still doesn't.
Bring down the government. No, that is
okay.
That is.
So this whole thing is a little bit fuzzy at the moment, but there was a rumor, and as you know, there cannot be smoke without fire.
That's true.
Okay, there was a rumor that these 2 MLAs from the Goa Forward Party were likely to join. This was on Wednesday night, I think.
Yeah.
Were likely to join the BJP like most of the other MLAs did.
Yeah.
But it did not happen. It did not happen, and it still remains a rumor. But yesterday we did have, that is on Wednesday night, we did have these 10 MLAs who defected from the Congress to the BJP, going into a huddle at the Chief Minister's official residence, obviously to discuss legal strategy related to the Supreme Court case of disqualification filed by Girish Chodankar of the Congress.
But I'm amazed, Ashley. I'm amazed, not that they defect. I mean, we've become quite used to them jumping this way and that way. Literally like frogs. They are people with no ideology. I'm quite amazed by the statement made by one of them, that is by Babush Montserrat, who said it doesn't matter.
We'll contest again.
Recontest. I mean, is this somebody with any kind of sense? If you are disqualified, how can you recontest? I mean, that's the first thing. You cannot recontest.
You can, Devi.
No, not in the same term.
No, you can.
You're disqualified.
No, you're disqualified only if you're disqualified for corrupt practices under the People's Representation Act.
You're saying that he can recontest the election for the same...
They can. And disqualification under the anti-defection law does not bar you from recontesting. But disqualification under the People's Representation Act for corrupt practices during an election debars you for 6 years.
So what's the point in being disqualified? If you can just go back and, get back and stand up and get back into the act,
as I said, I think I've said it once before when we discussed politics on this program, that probably we need another amendment to the anti-defection law.
But they have already violated the law. You see, there is no split in the major Congress party. It is there. I've read this a million times. I've done so many articles. There is no split in the Congress party for them to claim a split. The original party has to split.
The problem with that original party and this thing is, there is a little bit of a...
there is no ambiguity.
There is ambiguity. There is ambiguity in judgments. Judgments of the Supreme Court.
There is ambiguity in the way the law has been interpreted. But there is no ambiguity otherwise. I've read it.
Yeah, but the Supreme Court judgments in the past have set aside the argument that the original party has to split and goes purely by numbers. Purely by numbers of the MLAs splitting. But in some cases, in some rare cases, yes, the judiciary has taken the view that the original party has to split. But in many cases, what is happening is the MLAs are also hold organizational positions. So they say we are also the party.
No.
Like certain MLAs are also general secretaries. I think
this applies to a regional party. That one can agree. Okay, so the two MG guys have gone, one half will claim we are the original, we have split, etc., etc. We formed this. That is another argument. But you are claiming that a national party has split and 10 people have gone away from that.
Yeah, but Devika,
it is not correct.
Devika, I agree with you, the moral ground and all that stuff.
It is not the moral, it is the law.
But no, it's not the law, because when it is the Congress party's MLAs in Goa, it is the Goa unit that is taken, because you cannot be an MLA of India. You can be an MLA of Goa.
I've read the law, and it says, anyway, we will see how the Supreme Court interprets but it has already been interpreted to some extent by the judgment in the case of the Manipur MLA who has been asked to stay out. Right?
Yeah, but it's an interim order. It's not a final
That's
judgment.
Right, because finally it's the speaker that has to take
the decision. Exactly.
Yeah. Now to move out of politics, Ashley, there was this quite interesting story I saw in the Herald. They talk of the police becoming, sort of going after a lot of people in the cyber crime, and the case they picked up was of someone called
Atanasio Lobo.
Is it Atanasio here? It says Atanasio Lobo.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he is this Florian's brother.
I see.
Florian Lobo's brother. Okay. I think he's this guy who was the Sarpanch of Moira many years ago.
And he lives in Canada.
Yeah, he migrated I think about 15-20 years ago.
Okay.
So this debate has been on for a long time.
No, but the case against him is one of sedition. And he's been running an online petition which says that petition seeking liberation for Goa. From Indian invasion. And so he's being investigated for that.
Yeah.
And apparently he got 4,500 signatures online. And the interesting part here in this report is that Lobo has sort of shut down that whole site, and he is now actually worried that the government of India may file some kind of case against him.
Yeah, but it's a long haul, It's a long haul because he lives in Canada. And I'm sure he must be a citizen of Canada by now. So this whole thing will involve, if at all they want to prosecute him, this whole thing will involve a whole extradition proceeding before anything else.
Well, there was the other thing we were talking about earlier before the program was about e-learning and schools not reopening, and the government saying that they should go more online and take classes online. And you had some views on that, Ashley.
Yeah, basically what is happening is it is very uncertain. Although the education department and the managements of school put their best foot forward during the vacations, and conducted a whole training program for online teaching for some 11,000 12,000 teachers. They did an excellent job with that. Now when it is coming to implementing it for the 25-30,000 students across Goa, maybe more. I'm talking of only the 10th and the 12th standard being 25-30,000. So when it is coming to, you know, actually conducting the online classes, there are these infrastructural issues coming in.
That is the main thing. I mean, how do you know, sort of, how can you be equitable in education when some people have better facilities than,
that's the problem.
Say, a primary school run by the government?
Then there is this problem of, you know, in a family, there would be 3-4 kids.
Right.
So, you know, would the parents buy 4 gadgets?
Exactly. I mean, you would need a computer.
Exactly.
You cannot do school learning on a mobile phone.
Exactly. So you need either a laptop or a desktop. So and you can't ask 4 kids to share one.
Most of all, Ashley, you need good internet
connectivity.
Which we just do not have.
But some schools have you know, tried to overcome this connectivity problem by creating a e-platform of their own, exclusive, like Don Bosco's in Panjim has done that. So basically what the teachers do is they do give live lessons, but at the same time they also upload the video of that lesson onto the school's e-platform, so the student can access it anytime that he wants. So it kind of, you know, beats this connectivity problem a bit.
Well, so on that note, we have to end. We've run out of time. And thank you so much for watching. And do join us next week.